Hey, how you doing, guys? It is the 7th of March today, and although I had hoped to get this up long before now, I've been writing it for a while, and I just kept listening, and I'm do all of that. I listen every day. I'm on the tube a lot. I like to see what's going on in the world, weather, all the rest of it. I'm always curious. That's my Venus in Gemini in that 12th. I'm curious about everything, guys. But I just wanted to jump on and talk about this Jupiter Uranus conjunction in Taurus, and it's coming up on the 20th of April. Now we know we've got the new moon Virgo. We've got an eclipse, which I'm going to talk to you about a little bit further on in this. But yeah, this Uranus Jupiter for me, this is me, the way I'm seeing it in Taurus around 20th of April of this year. It does mark this new beginning. All right, now we've got an eclipse on the 8th as well, which I'm going to get to, as I say. So for me, this is a whole new direction that I believe this Uranus and Jupiter energy is going to shape the next 20 years. So Jupiter expands everything it touches, Uranus breaks old patterns, and it does bring revolutionary change. Um, and I think that this is going to be a combination um, that is really desperately going to change everything, especially in Taurus related areas. All right. So, Taurus, Venus ruled energies, yes, it's about love, relationship energies, but it's also about survival, it's about money, it's about food, it's about our values, our personal values. But think about that. So currency values. I look at the market. I check out Bloomberg. I like to see what's going on. I don't really understand any of it, but I can follow the little arrows, and I know the difference between red and green. That's pretty much it. So my Uranian energy does not manifest in the tech world too well. So yeah, currency values, cash versus digital, universal sort of global monetary systems. The UBIs, you can see it. All right. So to me, 2024 is indeed the birth of a new reality, but it is the advent of the brave new world that Huxley perceived back in the 30s, Um, and I think this year is going to be our start for 10. Pluto finally moves in fully into Aquarius November end. He is going to just move back a degree into Capricorn for beginning of September. He's not there for long, 6 weeks, something like that. And that's it for the next 10 decades. For the next 2 decades. So I do think it's going to be a year of adjustment, and that's really where I'm going with this. It is a year of adjustment. Our worldview is changing. Everything's changing. All right. So Pluto into Aquarius. He pops in, didn't he? Third week in January. As I say, he's there till September the 1st, moves back into Cappy really quickly, and then he's fully into Aquarius around third week in November. And that's it until 2023 March, guys. So, yeah, this month also we've got an eclipse, March 25th, as I said. And these eclipses, we've got two as we're moving forward, but we've got eclipses in Aries, Libra, Virgo, Pisces. And they are quite an event, really. And they activate those nodes. They activate the North Node and South Node. And of course, both those are linked to our personal evolutionary journeys, but also our destiny, as far as humanity is concerned, right? You know, um, I think that, the solar eclipse that's coming on the 8th of April, Chiron, that I've spoken about, the asteroid of healing and the North Node, really been uptight there. I think it was conjunct around the 11th of February, so not long ago. And I think that, that North Node represents where our collective consciousness is going, right? Collective. So I think the merging of both these two planetary forces, if you like, Mars and Venus, it's going to create Mars and Aries and Chiron, it is going to create quite a powerful healing energy. And I'm hoping that it's going to give us a bit of a lift because it's been quite heavy with the energy for a lot of us. A lot of you are breaking from a relationship, beginning afresh. Some of you are stagnating and stuck. Maybe you just got to go inside and use that Plutonian energy to go down and awaken yourself and awaken something inside you, deep inside you, that you know has to change. All right. Now, Aries for me, being about self-rule, sovereignty, self-sufficiency, certainly, with the Libra energies as well, but also others. Okay. So alternatively, we can look at our personal and global alliances, our partnerships, close partnerships. So what I'm saying is you've got to expect there's going to be some major shifts occurring in those areas of our lives. So people leaving our lives, sadly, for whatever reason, and vice versa, significant people coming into life. As we experience the energy of this Pluto in Aquarius, can take us by surprise. Oh, wow, we could go out one day and meet the one at the bus stop, right? And it may well be that for many of us could happen too, so that's great. But Aquarius is asking us here to detach from the outdated, done, to divorce from the conformity and, I could argue and say, safety and security, Saturn, of that old way of doing things. And that's not an easy thing to do. It's quite scary. But we just got to have faith, guys, which again is this Jupiter energies for me. So both Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, I personally believe, have been dissolving all these. You know, it's all been going on for a while. Neptune's been in Pisces for a lot of years, so it's all sort of ebbing away. The water's coming across now and starting to sort of weaken those foundations, and it's all bringing it down. Not to forget to mention, the issues with climatic change and water. We've had a lot of flooding. I mean, I do check into a lot of channels that other people might not. I check into India, I check into, states, anything, Middle East. I just like to know what's going on. Europe, well, I don't know what's going on in Europe. We've got revolution. Why have we got revolution? Taurus issues, food. All right. So that's just one example. So yeah, I think that these Piscean energies, they have been sort of dissolving the old boundaries and also those worn out constructs now for a while. So if you've been in a relationship, guys, that you know is not really going to take you into shore, right? We need to look at, if you've got a few holes in, if you've got a leaky boat, it's not going to get you where you want to go, guys. So yeah, so I think that Pisces in the sky is going to continue to ebb away. Right. So how we realize that new reality, how we react and respond to that change, that Saturnian energy, reaction, it's Capricorn, responsive, responsibilities, right? So let's embrace Venus and try and sit in the heart if we can. It's not easy, not easy at all. And Pluto, if we look back in time, Pluto entered Capricorn in 2008, right? What did we see? We saw bankruptcies failing, banks, folks lost absolutely everything. Now that is a massive and abrupt change in itself, right? Oof. So relying totally on another, or the state, the corrupt state, right? Which we knew, with the scandals, the pyramids, the banking, we knew then, right? But we just gone back into that old grove. Well, for me, Pluto in Aquarius is not going to allow that to happen again. All right. So what I would say is relying totally on another person or the state. Nothing stays the same. It can't. So all of that's going to beginning to change now. We can see it in our benefit systems, our social security systems here just collapsing. Anybody that's in this position at the moment, working families having to use food banks to survive, right? There is no justice in that, right? And I want to say that the natural law, Jupiter and Uranus coming together, I do feel there's going to be an acceleration, and I do feel there could be a lot of unrest. Okay, so let's go back to this adjustment time, right? So for some old relics like me, a more mellow realization of that need to change, right, might be needed for some. Um, Unfortunate because I am, sort of woke up to this nonsense many years ago with David Icke and a few other bits and pieces. But, that need to change is here. And for others, it can be abrupt. So we need to be aware of that. And again, that's another word that comes under Aquarian energy is awareness, becoming awake, becoming aware too of, right? So secrets being revealed, all right? I think. So even more secrets. So the key, if you can, is to be as flexible, um, but and acknowledge that we cannot hang on to the old constructs. Anything that does not support us, it is time to reinvent. It's time to break it down and to reinvent it and to make new and to go into the future. Right, Aquarius. Um, and sometimes it is trauma that creates that shift, the loss of a loved one, and we know we have lost many recently, or the birth of a child, and there's no choice available, is there? Everything changes when you have a new baby in the house, or whether or not you lose someone you've been with for many, many years. Very difficult. So, everything changes. It changes that dynamic, your personal dynamic forever. But because Aquarius is a very sort of revolutionary and humanitarian energy. I'm talking about, it's more than just a personal issue, right? So again, uh, I just feel as if it's almost like, how can I put it? Yeah, I think there's going to be, right, a really unifying energy coming up here, right, as we see and discover and become awake to ever more distortions that are going on within society, right? That particularly so the governing bodies. I mean, we can see it. And it is happening globally, but certainly in the West, it's more markedly happening now. Europe, UK, so on and so forth. Certainly the States, they've got their Pluto return. Very difficult for these guys. So we've got woke on steroids, haven't we, as well, which is fine. But I do wish that these Gen Zs would understand that Rome is not built in a day. You cannot change the global thinking, just because you feel you're privileged in some way. All right. Um, and it can't be done through virtue signalling, sorry, but I am having a bit of a go now. So let's not forget that Rome was indeed not built in a day, and it did burn due to insane policies and governing, if I remember my history. So Aquarius is, as I said, that non-conformist, the maverick, the innovator. And we've seen sort of societal conflict, though, aren't we? Right? It's very tribal energy. Another word comes under it is populism, So distortions, fanaticism, is also very Aquarian in its nature. And we are seeing a growth in this, and we can already see it with the level of sort of anti-Semitic stuff, the Islamophobic groups appearing, the transgender issues, and just slow down. You're going too fast. We have to work things through. We need to stay in the heart, right? So none of us should condone that level of behaviour. If we're going to survive, right? Um, Sadly, with all new builds, there is going to be some snagging, and that will need fine tuning. So there's no smoke without fire. There's no birth without a degree of pain. There's no rebirth without a degree of anxiety. Yet we can no longer continue in the same way, and we could, I believe, be heading for some level of conflict. We've already got it going on in Ukraine, we've got it going on in Israel, Gaza, shocking. Um, so we do need to find a compromise. We do need to find a more balanced accord, and if you can implement that, that's great. So let's just talk about the moon's nodes as well, because they're still in the Libra Aries. As I said, it's Mars and Venus, peace, war, um, and he's there until those nodes are there until January 25, and then they're going to make a shift into Pisces, North Node, Virgo, South Node. And I spoke way back about Saturn in Pisces as well. Yeah, interesting. North Node into Pisces. Um, and the use of psychedelics for mental health. That was some time ago. I spoke about that. I'm also feeling some prescription only drugs are now going to be made available over the counter. We're already here in the UK. We've got many pharmacists that are now in a position where they can prescribe, right? Um, so I feel, even though they've thrown however many million to our NHS system, that's our social health system, if you're out of the country listening to this, um, we're watching all this deteriorate as it is wherever, unless you've got real big money. So I think, yeah, we need to watch for that. Okay, they are coming down, as I said, on the flag, Eric, and all the rest of it. So I'm sure we're going to see some little areas of woodland cordoned off with a couple of big security guards on there saying, no, you can't pick any mushrooms today. And I'm not advocating that you should go out and pick any mushrooms, but of course, they don't want you to wake up, right? So, yeah. So let me move back. Sorry, I digress. So for me, Jupiter moving into Gemini, sort of May end, I think the communication energies are going to be huge, right? Communicating truths, sharing truths, expanding knowledge. So of the truth, if you like. So maybe you're going to start digging and looking into things a little bit more deeply. It's not going to be a comfortable ride for some, right? And it is very much about the truth and nothing but the truth. That is going to be demanded at this time, I think, from governmental bodies, certainly. So good luck with that. But then again, Jupiter is said to be the benefactor, is quite a good lucky energy. So let's wait and see. But I do think that, as Jack Nicholson said, some just can't handle the truth. And it's going to be quite difficult. And I do fear it's going to manifest in a growing mental health problem. And we're already seeing it, and we're already seeing spin-offs from their wonderful pharmaceutical plan. Guys, are we not? So yeah, a lot of unrest, a lot of inattention, a lot of anxiety, yeah, a lot of psychosis. But of course, Big Pharma, they're going to say, there, take this, this is going to help you. Never failing to profit, are they? Over the counter. yeah, they're all okay. They're going to be all right. Yeah, so I think also that the forming of cooperatives and communal ways of living in some instances, and I know a lot of clients of mine are going off grids, a lot of doing their own thing, grand. If you've got a bit of land, then great, you can grow your own veggies, got my seeds in, I'm blessed to have a little bit of space, but many are not. And if we can come together and help each other, I think that's going to be really significant as we go forward over this next 18 months. So yeah, that North Node still, it's very up close. The conjunction with Chiron, that healing energies of Chiron, also in Aries, healing the self on one level as well, and healing, becoming more solid in the self and stronger in the self. So knowing and finding yourself, right? And it was that conjunction around the 11th of February. But I do think self-sufficiency, self-responsibility it's going to be all the medicine we need if we can come together as a community, within a community. um, each and every one of us really needs to play our part. And I think that without a cohesive group of people helping each other get through this, we're finished. I think that we will be enslaved into their tech systems forever. Um, I'd like to think there are some really amazing techies out there that will free us up from this and You know, others need to grow some and grow a conscience. That would be good, wouldn't it? But we do need to form alliances and restructure these systems. So hopefully there's going to be reformation. Of course, that's a period of time as well, the reformation. And again, that's Aquarius. So becoming dependent on the state has been their plan throughout, right? Self-reliance, self-sufficiency has evaporated. We can see that it's been bred out of us. How to survive has been bred out of us, right? Well, we need to get that back because that is Mars energy, the hunter gatherer, the warrior, right? We need to get back into that. We need to find it again. And this is my view of where that conjunction with Chiron, all right? You know, no one is going to save us, right? Apart from the ones that love us, and we need to save ourselves, all right? So, no one's going to save us. All the political promises and the rhetoric, it's no. It's going to be every man for himself as we go forward until this settles down, all right? So, I just smile at the mega woke. I just smile. I think it's really funny, and I do check into Australian CB. They talk at lefties losing it, and that's quite interesting as well if you want a giggle. But I do want to say, just very quickly, any of you out there that's experienced this very sort of low rhythmic hum, yeah, and it's been happening to me now for about a couple of weeks, where I've become very, very aware of it, and it does come sort of early morning. And if I'm watching a movie or something and I'm not doing anything until late, then I tend to, you know, I am up late. I'm pretty crazy with my sleeping hours, but I'm hearing it, right? And I'm hearing it, and I'm hearing it vibrating through the actual my mattress. It's here, and at one point I thought, is that my phone? Because I've actually got the Close Encounters sort of tonal notes as a ringtone. And I thought, and almost melodic music sort of coming through, but tonal. Very, very interesting. And I would really love to hear from you. Yeah. But I did catch Richard Vobes this morning. I do listen to him on YouTube. He's a decent bloke. Really deviated a lot. But yeah, I was listening to him, and I caught a couple of days ago, about 3 or 4 days ago, the hum. You know, what is this strange hum? And that was stateside. And apparently, since the 60s, people, certainly around Mexico and around the area, if you get my drift, they've been listening, they've been hearing it. All right, so um, maybe, you know, is there something coming up from underneath? Are we going to discover something in Antarctica? You know, well, we all know it's there, don't we? So yeah, maybe it is. Maybe that's Jupiter and Uranus. Yeah, particularly so with Jupiter, as I said, moving into Gemini the end of May. But either way, the next 18 months to 2 years, buckle up, all right? But stay cool and, you know, keep fighting the good fight, and God bless, and I'll see you soon. Take it easy. Bye, guys. Bye. Oh, can I just ask you? I've got nearly 900 people now that actually. I mean, I'm sure you don't listen all the time, but it's really encouraging sometimes. And I got a new subscriber this month. I want to say hello to you. Um, so yeah, don't forget to hit the bell, because if you hit the bell, you don't miss anything. Then again, or whatever. Okay, take it easy, guys. I'm sending you loads of love, and I'll catch you soon. Okay, then. Bye now.